All right, welcome back to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show presented by Monaco. You guys were saying might want to break that Kentucky coffee open whenever you want.
We're doing that
because Monaco, they're the best.
I'm in, man. I mean,
UFC sponsor,
let's go.
Spinnin Backfist sponsor. Obviously here with Anthony Smith and Chris Weidman. First time being on the show. Thank you guys for coming in. How you like doing early morning stuff like this? This is early for us.
I don't mind. That's not a big deal to me. I'm used to having, I got a bunch of young kids, so I'm up there.
Yeah, true. This isn't probably early for two dads.
No, it hasn't been bad for two dads. Thanks for bringing that up. Old guys with kids for sure. Last night I had to make a big decision. We were out for a big dinner, and after the dinner, I was feeling myself. I was like, let's take on the city. Let's go out, Sarah. And she was like, all right, let's do it. And then I'm like, we have to wake up kind of early tomorrow. I'm like, maybe I'm tired.
This is not
okay.
Early.
I'm not ready to commit to this. Let's go to sleep. And feel
Damn, sorry for ruining last night.
Yeah, no. I think it's better off for everybody.
Yeah. We're obviously here ahead of UFC 295 this weekend. It's going to be a huge card, 30th anniversary of the UFC. I think the last time that you were in the office was the old office.
It was, yeah.
Piece of shit office compared to this one. We'll give you a little tour afterwards. I mean, this one's still, it's not the Chicago office, $20 million one.
Yeah. I'm waiting. Did they actually debut it and do a thing? I saw the teaser. I didn't get to the full thing.
Yeah. That's the office that you want to visit next time for sure over this one. But yeah. This one's.
I thought the other one was cool. It was
you get
empty beer cans and shit on the
couch. It's more of a gritty New York vibe.
Yeah, they got the golf simulator, full basketball court.
I love that. I would never leave that simulator.
Are you a big golf guy?
Oh yeah. Not
good?
That I'm good. Right now I'm a 14 handicap.
That's pretty good though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I started 3 years ago, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
And but I have a lot of room for growth.
Have you played DC?
Oh yeah, we played. Yeah, I'm way better than him.
Really?
Have you ever seen DC golf?
See, I've heard him talk a big game, but I haven't actually seen it.
I don't know how he has the confidence to talk about golf the way he does when he looks the way he looks.
He's got that old Barkley swing. Barkley got a lot better though, but I've seen Barkley had the herky jerky
oh my god! I mean, there's nothing like Barkley, but
Barkley fix his swing though.
Barkley's a lot better now. He has gotten better.
Cormier has a unique swing. Bro, we play at the Riviera in California, in LA, which is Tiger Woods' favorite golf course. It's a crazy golf course. You got to know billionaires to be on there. So Cormier had some hookup, actually through Luke Rockhold, which was, it's a tough pill for me to swallow, but I love golf. So we went out there and we hit off on the first hole. We're collecting our bowls after, putting it on the green. We're walking off. Me and DC are riding together. He gets on his car. We start driving. All of a sudden, he's like, fuck, shit. He jumps off the car. He's holding his leg. I'm like, what are you doing? He's the drama queen. So I'm like, what are you doing? He got hit by a ball. These dudes hit him with the ball. It was the best thing ever. I'm like, you just got hit with a golf ball? And it's like a father and his son, probably billionaires, were just like, oh my God, Daniel Cormier, are you okay? They were
afraid to get beat up.
You see the video of him going back and forth with Alex Pereira this week with the leg kicks?
Yeah.
He wanted to give him 5%, 10%, 25% power. That was outrageous.
So the
5%, he was like, oh. Okay.
Honestly, he kind of stole that bit from me. I feel like I should be the guy who's taking the leg kicks and doing it on
fair.
I took a leg kick on video from Meatball Molly. It was the worst decision I ever made in my life.
Was it bad?
Real bad.
She soccer kicked them.
She wound up shoes on.
She
kicked me here. She kicked me in the knee.
You got to know how to take a leg kick.
I don't.
Me either. I mean, you guys have seen me fight, but just kicking regular people is not smart.
Well, I was like, if we hit X amount of subscribers, I'll take a leg kick. So I told her it's got to be real.
What would it take for me to kick you here?
You know.
You don't think so?
Come on.
It would take medical bill coverage.
Barstool Sports, I think.
Bro, these legs are twigs. You would snap my leg without a doubt.
Big. They're not real big.
They're not.
They're nice though.
No, thanks. I appreciate it. They're
Bilal did it with the Chicago guys, and Chief said he wanted to throw up.
Yeah, they went kick for kick.
And that he actually did it in the thigh, not his knee.
That's the thing, is I got a kick right to the knee. If I took another one ever again, which I retired from leg kicks, but you know how MMA retirements go, I could come out. I wouldn't want it in the calf or the here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's not good anywhere though. It's miserable. I always say it's the one thing in a fight. Adrenaline kind of washes out the punches, the elbows, and everything to the head. You don't really feel it, the pain. The leg kicks, you feel the pain every damn time. It's freaking miserable. It's that bad. I feel that, and you get hit with a good liver shot, you feel that. Mm-hmm. Other than that, you don't really feel anything. Mm-hmm. So I think everybody should be kicked at least 3 times in their leg. Just
3?
To, like, understand.
3's a lot.
I took 1. I feel like I get it.
People are like, all right, well, some people have really skinny legs. 1 time might be good enough. But some of these like
you don't have to put the
bodybuilders,
really skinny legs.
you need 3 times. And it doesn't have to be.
All right, you guys are fucking next up.
He goes,
you ready for this?
I didn't know he was going.
Listen, I broke people's legs when they're kicking me, and I've had my leg broken. In half.
I think
so
if
I'm
anyone
like
needs to retire from leg kicks, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm dumb enough to just keep on going.
You made me so nervous before the last fight when you said like coming out and throwing the biggest leg kick ever thrown.
Yeah.
That made me terrified.
And I actually did mean it. I thought I was going to do it. And it's funny because, I was out for 2.5 years, crazy adversity, ups and downs, 4 surgeries. I get back in there and I'm like, he throws a leg kick. And I'm like, right away, I usually have the reaction to kick back, like just from years of training. Someone kicks you, kick back. You don't let it go on unanswered. As soon as he kicked me, I'm like, can't throw it. It's not happening. And so the round goes by of me trying to get like a feel of being in there. And he freaking fractured this leg. And so then I'm switching southpaw and then he's kicking my surgery leg. I'm like, is this really what's happening right now? Then he kicks me in the nuts twice, hard.
Yeah. Fuck.
Then I kick him in the stomach and he pretend like it was a nut shot. He goes down. I'm just venting right now.
No,
like, wow, Chris, get it out.
Vent, get it out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go. Brett Tavares, but he helped me out of the octagon. He was nice afterwards, but I feel like he was busy at a guilty conscience. Nick Diaz didn't leg kick Anderson Silva 1,000 times in his first fight coming back after I broke his leg.
Nick Diaz is such a big leg kicker too.
Well, my coaches told me that Brad Tavares is not a leg kicker. And then I asked Brad Tavares afterwards. I go, yo, Longo. I asked Brad Tavares, I'm like, yo, do you not usually like leg kick? Because I don't really watch videos. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go out there, let my coaches do the watching. And he was like, bro, I got like the second most leg kicks in the UFC in the middleweight division. I'm like, I wish someone would have told me that. That's my one regret. I'm going to start watching tape.
Yeah, maybe you have to.
Yeah.
How did you guys get linked up in the first place?
I'm trying to get rid of him.
Yeah. I've worked hard to like get close to him, and he's been working hard to get away.
It's a chasing relationship for sure. No, we had the same management team years ago, like the same manager, and then that kind of went to the wayside and didn't go well. So we just kind of traveled from management team to management team together.
And like bond when you're having like issues with the management team and you feel like you're on your own.
Yeah.
And you have someone that you can trust and call them like, yo, this happened to you too? Are you like, is this manager doing this to you too? And so we were on the same page with that. And then we both went to Vayner Sports together. And now we both just kind of talk trash on Saturday and Vayner Sports about how
that's what we bond over now.
Yeah.
We just vent on that.
Our wives get along too. So like when we do, like a lot of times we'll be in the same place. Like at the beginning, we'd be in the same place doing the similar appearances, and then we bring our wives along, and they happen to get along, so it's easier.
Oh yeah, like we do have similar lives. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're both UFC fighters. We're both, we think we're pretty tough, in comparison to the rest of the world. But
in comparison to people in this room,
this room at least.
Did you guys hear a story about with the intruder?
Yeah, it's the greatest, one of the best stories of the past few years.
It is crazy. I don't know if we have time for that, but that story is insane. So just like knowing what he went through with that stepped my game up as a family man too. Like, man, I gotta be prepared. That's a nightmare.
That's scary. Man, everyone's scared. Yeah.
And then we've trained together multiple times. Mm-hmm. He's came out to the Carolinas to train. I've always talked about going to like Colorado or Nebraska to train, but just doesn't.
But you never have?
Yeah, just
he keeps getting hurt.
It's delayed. Yeah, that's a good point.
Every time we bring it up, he's like, "Oh, I only got one leg."
And the flights take longer going from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Yeah,
so it's harder to get out there.
The tailwind and the
tailwind is really strong.
That's crazy. Absolutely. This weekend, what are the fights you guys are like most looking forward to, most excited to talk about?
John Jones versus
Is that like
you just push your mic?
John Jones versus Stephen Miocic. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I think the Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka fight. Yeah. I think I'm most excited to see. Yuri Prochazka has been out for a long time. He had that terrible shoulder injury.
Apparently the worst injury of all time.
Yeah,
that's what the doctor said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what Dana White says. And I guess what the doctors told me. But man, he is such an unorthodox fighter, and he hits hard as hell. And he's predominantly a stand-up fighter. And then he's going against Alex Pereira, who's arguably one of the best kickboxers ever to be in mixed martial arts. He's up a weight class now. He had a razor-thin decision against Blachowicz in his last fight. Mm-hmm. He struggles with the wrestling. We've seen Yuri struggle with the wrestling against Glover Teixeira. So this is going to be a stand-up fight, and both guys hit like trucks. And
I think Yuri's going to shoot.
You think Yuri's going?
That's what I was going to ask if you thought he was going.
Yeah, I think if you're smart, right? If you're a responsible fighter, it's very clear where Alex Pereira has a hole in his game. I think at 205 he's harder to take down because he's not as sucked out. You know what I mean? From the hard weight cuts, it looked like his chin held up a little bit better. He didn't take any real clean shots from Blachowicz. I don't know.
He got wobbled a couple times actually.
He got hit a bunch. So when I was doing my tape study, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really care too much about the fight. I really cared about the clarity in the division for sure, to kind of see where the light heavyweights were going to go. Like where I fight next kind of depends on what happens here. So that's really only reason I cared.
Do you feel like you have a rooting interest then?
Oh, for sure. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I would be crazy if it would be me lying if I said I didn't. Like me getting closer, it's more likely I can get a title shot if Pereira wins.
Yeah.
And you want Pereira.
Why is that?
Because he doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have a little bad blood.
Well, I mean, he needs a challenger. The guys at the top of the division are kind of hemmed up right now. You got
Hill.
Well, Jamal Hill's hurt, and then Yuri's fighting Pereira, and then you have Ankalaev and Johnny Walker have to run that back. Then Blachowicz is fighting Rakic. The only other guy up there it's me and Krylov. So, and for whatever reason, Krylov's not taking fights right now. So, has
Pereira said he doesn't like you, or is that just a vibe you get?
Oh, he's different.
Yeah, he said he made it pretty public. He had a whole video about him.
Oh, I missed it.
And I think it was a miscommunication, to be honest with you. And maybe it's just him making up something to like motivate himself, or he took it the wrong way or whatever. But fighters are sensitive, myself included. So I get it when I take a shot at someone's game or I'm critical of someone's game on ESPN. I think sometimes people feel like I'm talking about who they are as a person.
You're just trying to call it like you see it.
Yeah, I'm just talking about whatever I see is what, and I just say it. And I don't have that many friends in this game, so I don't really care. It's not my thing. I got plenty of friends.
Yeah. Have you experienced that since doing your serious show? Like fighters getting upset at anything you've said?
Yeah, there's been a couple of things. I know Sugar Sean O'Malley got pissed at me for something I said, like he's not the best stand-up fighter in the world, or something. I'm like, well, you just pretty much lost to Peter Yan. A lot of it was on the feet. So I love his stand-up. I think it's great. But so this is before the Aljo fight. But it was one of those things. We were on the weigh-in show, and we had to give who we think are the best stand-up guys in the UFC. He wasn't on the list. And I was arguing with Boris Sanko about why he shouldn't be on the list. And I guess he took to his podcast pissed off. And it was me and Cormier who was pissed off because we were both.
Well, that's good that you get someone in the foxhole with you.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't on my own.
You drag him down with you. Yeah.
He's complained about Cormier a few times from the commentary. On the actual fights, like if they're not like favoring the other guy or whatever.
I think sometimes, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. Sometimes like people take this broadcasting and like analyst stuff way more serious than it is.
Yeah.
Like, we're just looking at it from whatever lens we live in. And sometimes we just don't know. Like I can't tell you how the more I dug, I guess to finish my thought, I didn't care about the main event on Saturday so much until I started watching the tape. Then I got really interested in it then because it's the way that they match up is so interesting. Now I actually care about it, but I can't tell you who's going to actually win.
Yeah.
Like there's so many variables that can happen. Both guys are actually fairly hittable. Like Pereira is a pretty good kickboxer, but does get hit a lot. He gets countered on his kicks a lot if someone's willing to stand in there and take him. So like I can give you all the X's and the O's and I give you like likely scenarios. What's going to happen? And usually one of those two things will happen. I don't know. Like maybe someone's mean to Pereira and he doesn't sleep very well the night before. Maybe Yuri gets a little bit sick from his weight cut. Like who knows? There's no way of actually knowing who's going to win.
They're both super aggressive and they're both open to get hit and both of them have knockout power. Both of them have been wobbled. Their chins are maybe a little suspect. So anything could happen. I'm going with Yuri Prochazka. I just think his unorthodox style and his aggression is going to end up paying off. I think this is definitely a finishing fight. I feel like someone.
Oh, I think so. Yeah,
I agree.
How much do you think Glover, having fought Yuri, having a lot of success in that fight, coaching Alex, how much do you think that helps Alex in the fight?
Zero.
Really?
Zero. Yeah. I mean, outside of him having a 360-degree view of what Yuri brings to the table, Glover can't give Alex anything other than what he's good at, right? So and I mean this, I love Glover. Like we get along great. Like we're super friendly. But the way that Glover fights, Alex doesn't have the capability to fight like that. Yeah, so where Glover was successful, or where Glover was dominant in that fight, are all in areas that Alex doesn't have that ability. So I think that being in there and feeling someone and having, I don't know, maybe a more intimate view of what they bring to the table, how fast they are, where their power is, what it really kind of feels like to be in there, you can like voice that to them. But other than continuing to be a mentor and coach up his wrestling and his grappling, Alex just can't, he just can't do what Glover does.
I mean, it is interesting though, because Glover Teixeira was able to take him down a lot in that fight, and not just take him down, right to mount multiple times in that position, most dominant position. I mean, so Pereira would love to be able to get a takedown and figure out a way to get to that position. He's seen it work for his partner that he trains with every single day. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pereira's trying to shoot.
No way.
I mean, he shot against Adesanya. I mean, there is a chance. Does Yuri Prochazka have better defense than Adesanya?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, because who was shooting on Yuri a bunch? I think Volkan had a handful of takedown attempts on Yuri, and he got one. Yuri did a good job of scrambling back to his feet. Surprisingly, though, Glover's a pretty top, like heavy top pressure guy. So I was surprised at the amount of times that Yuri was able to get back to his feet and kind of create scrambles.
He's explosive.
I think some of that is, as Glover was getting older, I think that's where we started to see I didn't really see his skills and abilities really diminish. It was his ability to kind of wear the damage, and his conditioning kind of fell off. That's where I seen it with Glover. It was really his conditioning.
I mean, but that last fight between those two,
that was a good fight.
That was a good
awesome.
fight, and both of them were tired in that fifth round. And did Sheriff win that fifth round? Did he get him down again?
He shot the guillotine, and that was like after he rocked him really bad.
It was like a rear naked choke.
It almost like it's a Glover like breaks Shark. Almost like it feels like if he did anything else, he would. I mean, he was up on the cards.
Yeah, even if he lost that round, he was still going to win the fight.
And I think he was going to win that round. I thought even until that sequence.
Oh wait, so if he doesn't get choked there, he wins that fight.
He had 3 rounds in the cards, like in the books to all of them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he had him hurt so badly when he jumped the guillotine. I was just watching the video yesterday.
Yeah,
and the choke was, I think, with 30 or 45 seconds
something
left,
like
right?
that. It was less than a minute.
Yeah, a couple fights last year where it was like
definitely
crazy
on the neck, that choke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it almost looked like
because he kind of just scrambled around his back and just kind of like threw it
like
in.
A no hooks in kind of bulldog choke.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Crazy. And then how do you guys feel about the co-main event, the new co-main event for the interim heavyweight title?
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's a banger.
Yeah, it's Stipe is our friend, but like stylistically, I think this is a more exciting fight. Obviously, like entertainment value and what John Jones and Stipe bring to the table, that one is one that I think brings more eyes, and just for like legacy, that's more exciting. But I think as an analyst that I really get really deep into the X's and the O's, Pavlovich and Aspinall is a really exciting fight for me.
What do you think happens there?
I think Aspinall has an opportunity to make it look really easy.
Really?
I think so too. I mean, I thought what he did to Volkov was so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Pavlovich, we've just seen him like, it's one of those where I think it's such a close fight on the odds, but I feel like whoever wins is going to feel like it was easy.
Yeah.
Because obviously Sergey could just clip him, but I just feel like I've been gassing Aspinall. I think his skill set's just so like unique. For
he might be the best heavyweight in the world.
I've kind of been hinting at that. I think
he might be
because he's so quick on the feet. Like his footwork's so good. He's so athletic, but he can wrestle too. He has jujitsu. He hits hard.
Here's the thing with Pavlovich. He's had some really favorable matchmaking up to this point. Like guys like Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, like those guys are tailor made for him because they're gonna throw hard and they're gonna be there for him when he counters. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to counter. He's got a pretty good chin. He'll take one to throw back really hard. Well, Derek Lewis is always going to be standing in front of you. That's what Derek Lewis does. Tai Tuivasa is the same way. So
were you impressed by his performance against Blades?
Yeah. But I think that he showed a lot of liabilities against Blades. Like he took a lot of big shots that when you're at the tip of the spear, you can't afford to take shots like that. Curtis Blades isn't a guy who's really going to sit down on his punches because he's looking for a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to throw and he's going to hit you, and it's going to be hard because he's a big, strong, powerful guy. But he's not committing and really sitting down, throwing a hard shot and then rolling under to hit you off an angle after that.
If he would actually commit to it, he'd have a real problem.
Oh, for sure. If Curtis could really commit and and just kind of shut off his brain and not think so much, he'd be one of the most dangerous guys in the game. But he's just whatever his thing is. I love Curtis Blades, but whatever his thing is he's not ever committing to the punches. So I feel like Aspinall can go out there, be super mobile, pick at him from the outside, get Pavlovich to throw back really hard. And I think if he gets a takedown, I think that's probably just where the fight ends.
You think that's the game plan? If he's looking to get Pavlovich to overthrow and
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So he's
definitely going to be looking for a take. And Pavlovich is going to be hard to take down. Like, he's a big, powerful guy that like we haven't seen too much of him on his back, but the one time we did, I don't think any of us would probably describe Overeem as a power wrestler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they got like tripped up. It was like a Muay Thai trip or something. And once Overeem was on top, that was it.
What's the size difference here? Is Pavlovich way bigger than Aspinall?
I don't think way bigger.
I wouldn't say way. Probably
bigger,
a little bit,
right?
So Aspinall weighs into like 250-ish, I think, right? Something like that.
Pavlovich is terrifying in person.
Yeah,
he's massive
like that. And Aspinall's like, he puts you at ease in person. Aspinall's like just down to earth.
Yeah, he seems chill. Pavlovich is definitely a scary dude. I stood next to him in the elevator. He was like talking Russian with his boy. And I was like, man, I'm not even going to look over there. Like, that's a big, there's some heavyweights that aren't as big as you would expect. Like the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. He's not a big dude in person, like with clothes on and all that. He's heavy. He's a
I like that you clarify with clothes on. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
But he's not like this guy that you look at like.
Not like overbearing when you're next to him.
Not at all. Zero.
Pavlovich is.
Yeah.
I was really afraid of him for a long time. When I fought Ankalaev, him and Ankalaev are like buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like standing behind me, like in the line to go weigh in. And like I was on the opposite corner of Ankalaev, but the same side as Pavlovich. So I was like tried cracking some jokes with him, and he doesn't think I'm funny at all. But it's weird because like I have to like crack the joke to the translator, and then the translator has to. It's not funny once it's like three. Yeah,
literally. Yeah,
he didn't deliver it right.
Yeah,
right.
The guy didn't
so, but then we were sharing a locker room, like the night of the fight, and I was so uncomfortable. Like I don't like it that he's in here, and like I'm about to fight his boy.
That's weird.
Wait, you share it with Ankalaev's team?
No, with Pavlovich.
Got it.
But they weren't. They're like friends, but they have a different team.
Got it.
So I just like, hey, can I like move to a different locker room?
Oh, did you ask?
I did. I asked, like, can I just move to a different locker room? They're like, yeah. Well, we'll go check this out and see where we can move you. Then they came back and took him out and like kicked him out of my locker room. I was like, oh God.
That's a nightmare.
So I've avoided him.
Have you seen him?
No. I seen him one time in a hotel and I was like, sneaking around
the Russian spy.
Yeah,
you don't want to mess with that.
Oh man, that's funny. How do you feel about fellow Strong Islander Frivola on this card? Big spot for him on pay-per-view.
Bro, it's crazy to me. I mean, he's got 3 knockouts in a row. Just knocked out Drew Dober.
It's a good win too.
Oh yeah,
the Dober win's a good win.
He was an underdog.
Nobody ever knocked him out.
His last 3 fights, he's been a huge underdog. Again. What's this guy's name?
Benoit Saint Denis.
Saint
Denis a tough motherfucker.
He's tough. Frivola's tough. The one thing with Frivola, you don't have to worry about him like overthinking or like having issues, like anxiety issues.
He came in and he said Ray Longo just tells him like, be smart, use your head.
Yo, 100%. You don't have to worry about that. He's going to go out there and fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we have other guys, that have the ability to overthink. He's not that guy, which is great. He's going to go out there and do the best he can and, win or lose, bringing it. And so that takes a lot of, possible reasons on why you lose the fight out of the equation. So, I mean, he's going to bring it. I don't know about this guy, St. Denis. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle that type of pressure for 3 rounds. I don't know. I know he's a cardio dude, right?
Saint Denis a monster.
He's really good.
I was in Paris when he debuted. He's like a French special forces guy.
He was in the military. Yeah.
He's so popular in France too. Like, I mean, the arena went absolutely berserk when he walked out. And I was like, I get it. It's the first like card in Paris. It's, like they're just going to put on these local guys. And, like, I didn't know how good he was going to be. And then he fought. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah. This is matchup. It could be like fight of the night.
It could be for sure.
Yeah.
So
he's a good grappler too.
So is he looking to take down Frivola, you think? Or is it on the feet he's trying to pick him apart? I mean, he just watched Frivola knock out Drew Dober.
Yeah.
Drew Dober's got great stand-up.
Yeah, he's a pressure guy. And I think when you get pressure guys that fight the way that he fights, I think you sometimes end up in these grappling exchanges inadvertently. Like you have so much pressure when eventually Frovola's going to have to say, like, stick his fucking foot in the ground and say, I'm not fucking backing up anymore.
Yeah.
And then they're going to end up in this like clash, you know what I mean? And so I think they will grapple a bunch, but I don't know that he's going to like chase doubles and singles and set that up. He's going to swing for the fences.
I'll say they're both pretty calm and chaos. They're both down to throw for sure.
100%.
Which is going to be fun to watch. I agree.
Definitely.
I think he definitely could be fighting tonight.
How many fighters would you say struggle with mentally, as you were saying that Frivola doesn't? Is it 50-50?
I think like the majority of
Got it.
Like 90%. I think there's like 10% of them that don't.
Frivola is one of them.
Frivola is one of them. Now, like I think a lot of that, like a lot of times the guy who doesn't struggle mentally might not be as talented or maybe as smart. But
that's how you get that way though.
Yep.
Like sometimes you don't have the skills and abilities to like play that mental chess game. So sometimes you just have to break people.
Got it.
Yeah.
And like I've won fights that I should never have won. Like I probably should not have beat Alexander Gustafsson when I did.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like didn't overthink it and was like, I just want to hit him really hard. So I just pressured him. And a lot of times people can't handle the pressure over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there was an aspect of that with like Strickland beating Adesanya? Adesanya so like dominant for so long. And
Absolutely.
Strickland just like pressured the fuck out of him.
I mean, look at their games. Like who's the more technical guy on their feet?
Yeah.
It's
Adesanya.
absolutely
Yeah.
Adesanya. But like, excuse me, sometimes like pressure burst pipes. Like if you just can't get a motherfucker off of you, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are, how technical you are. If like you don't have the space to do anything, through one round, it's like, all right, I'll figure this out. Through 2 rounds, like, all right, this is getting super annoying. Yeah. And then it just keeps going and going and going. Like Strickland doesn't take a step back.
Yeah. Adesanya couldn't get a rhythm going at all.
He said I think he said after the 4th, I can't get the jab going. And that's when he was.
Well, that's because
broken.
Strickland steps into everything. So he jams everything. So
he's not afraid of being in the pocket at all.
Well, stylistically, that the way that they fight does favor Strickland. He's the less talented guy between the two, but the way that they match up, like Adesanya likes to be pretty, sit on the outside. And he likes to have time to work and kind of sit and watch his work a little bit. Strickland just fucking puts his foot on the gas and goes.
Yeah.
He doesn't give anyone time to think.
Yeah. Even after being knocked out by Pereira, he didn't change one thing about his style. He was still walking forward.
Which is genius.
He was pulling.
Or real fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It works either way. And I love watching Strickland fight. I love everything about that guy. But I'm not sure that Jesus, I'm gonna give some whiskey.
Man, chug it down.
It's hard to do. It's hard to fight the way he fights, especially after being knocked out as bad as he was.
Yeah. I remember, I think the last time I saw you in person was backstage at the first Brooklyn card, maybe. And you came through with the whole Long Island crew.
One could be fought now.
So it was when Cejudo fought, first ESPN card, when Cejudo fought Dillashaw, I think.
Okay.
And it was the whole Long Island crew came in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you guys came into the media room afterwards and shirts were off. The party was going. Out of that whole Long Island MMA squad, who are you taking out if you want the wildest night?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll answer for Chris. It's probably Volante.
Volante is going to be the funnest. 100%.
You know, Volante, I gave him my phone once to put his number in it, and he's the only guy who misspelled his own name in my phone. He wrote Volante.
I am not surprised. I want to do a podcast with Volante just so I could torture him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't understand anything coming out of his mouth, but he's so confident that he's like smart and he knows what he's talking about. So I'll just be able to make fun of him. But, yeah, Volante's a good ass time, man. But he got married and he has kids and he completely changed who he is as a person. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah?
I've never seen somebody change like he has. I mean, to
Like
me,
she cracked the code.
yeah,
She broke him
it was
like a wild
Or
like
fixed
a
him,
wild
depending on who
stallion.
you
as soon
ask.
as she was having a kid,
Domesticated him.
Yeah.
he hasn't been out. He's coming out on Friday night. Stipe and Brian invited him out with his wife, Katie. And so he's going to come out, but that's like his first time being out in like years.
I was going to say, how is he? We haven't heard
And
from
he's
him.
like the Gronkowski of MMA in my eyes. Like he's the guy who's out at the bars. His shirt is ripped off, pure confidence, smacking like juice heads on their ass, telling them to have a good time. You know, like just a pain in the ass. All the girls love him, even though he's ugly as hell.
Yeah.
Like that was him. It was always good times.
Coach of
always-
football now, right?
And now he's actually got a phys ed job. He's got a legit job at Islip High School, which is a great school out in Suffolk County. And yeah, he's a football coach,
Volante
wrestling
are a
coach.
kid.
He's great. He's actually great with kids.
He is a kid.
He's a kid.
Yeah.
So the kids love him. And he honestly, it's funny. Like I love him because he tries to give like motivational talks to these kids about, taking things serious and like working hard and all this stuff. This dude is one of the most talented people I've ever trained with, like so explosive. He played in the NFL for a little bit. He was a 3-time college All-American at Hofstra University. There were 6 guys drafted out of his graduating class to go to the NFL. He wasn't drafted, and it's because he was such a pain in the ass to the coaches that the coaches told scouts, listen, very talented. His combine numbers off the charts. I get it, but he's such a pain in the ass. You don't want him. Like,
that's tough from Hofstra.
That's real
not
tough.
Good, not
that's
good.
Tough.
Yeah. So that was the last year Hofstra had a program. They cut the program after 6 dudes went to the NFL, like Marcus Colston, who became
So Vellante ruined the entire football program.
He pretty much ruined the football program. Then they were like, let's focus on the medical school.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to be Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard of Long Island.
Yeah. I mean, the prices are like Harvard. It's crazy. It's like $75K a year over
Jesus.
there.
Oh my God.
I don't want to come down on my alma mater too bad.
Jesus.
All right. If you see Vellante out this weekend,
some work, man.
Yeah,
Used to
get
be
him a
like
drink.
a top 10 program. Now we fell off completely. It's nowhere to be found.
Maybe you got to get in there. Maybe this is the next reality series. Chris Weidman goes in and fixes the wrestling team.
That's
you just answer your phone.
I just F you button somebody.
Respect. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I wasn't going to take it on air.
Unless it was Vellante, that would have been perfect. That would have gone.
I think long before I came here. So that would have been great. What was the question? What was I saying?
The wrestling team.
Oh, the wrestling team. Yeah,
no,
I can't do it. That's a lot of work. Too much time away from the family. So, but they do need some help.
Yeah.
So they announced these 3 new title fights in 2024. DDP Strickland, Volk Taporia, and Sugar versus Cheeto. Which one are you guys most excited for?
I'm pissed off with the Cheeto and Sugar Sean O'Malley fight 100% because I feel like Merab really deserves that.
That's your guy, yeah.
I feel like he's getting screwed now.
We were saying yesterday, like
UFC hated Aljo, so they're just gonna hate Merab. Merab is the most lovable person on the planet. He goes out there and fights his heart out every single damn time. He's screaming during the fights, I love this! Shooting 42 takedowns in a fight. I mean, the dude is fun to watch. He's a great dude, most grateful human being I ever met. Like, so grateful for America because he came here from Georgia. And just like loves America, loves Georgia, loves his team.
There's that video of him diving into the pond that was frozen.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched that video way too many times.
It's crazy.
Because that's him.
Yeah.
Like he dives in there, oh fuck, I'm so stupid. Why I do this? And he's just bleeding everywhere. I had to go to the emergency room. Yeah.
Okay, if you were unattached to Merab,
okay,
and I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I love Merab, and I want to see Merab get a title opportunity. I think he deserves it. He works really hard, but you know better than anybody when it comes to title fights and generating money and views and interest that the Cheeto fight is probably the more appealing fight, I would think, to fans. And Merab doesn't finish, and that hurts him. I love his style. Yeah. But I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Like
we're the hardcore.
Yeah. I love how I love his style because the way he fights is probably one of the hardest ways to fight.
He finished Peter Yan. I mean, when he did the Peter Yan, he finished that dude. That's a finish.
Update the stats.
That watched him freaking finish. I mean, come on.
Shut him out.
We're gonna appeal that. Yeah,
that dude should have tapped out.
I don't care what actually happened.
No,
that's he finished it. Yeah.
No, and
the way he beat all those crazy.
Yeah, I think he's great. The way he fights is hard. It's just not gonna make you. It's like the John Fitch route. Like John Fitch was one of the best welterweights of all time. He just wasn't over the top exciting. Like the channel flipping fan isn't going to stop on a Merab fight and watch it.
I don't like drawing that parallel only because Fitch would take people down and just hold on. Merab makes tons of mistakes on top.
I was going to say,
like, he's going to let you have a chance to get back.
Like devil's advocate is like John Fitch was better on top and didn't give the opportunities.
Yeah.
So like, I love Merab. I love watching him fight.
Merab did do a good job trying to get the fight when he stole Sugar's jacket.
Okay, that was genius.
That was
hysterical.
He built in a little storyline there,
and boom, you got your promotion for a pay-per-view.
I think if he got a push, I think the general fan would love Merab's personality.
Yeah,
it's just not out there enough. I don't think enough people have seen it.
So famous in Georgia too.
Oh,
I don't know how that translates to money in the UFC, but I'm sure it has to be some type of
It's got to be some return on that investment somewhere.
You know, Dana loves the videos of like, let's cut back to when the first fighter from Tajikistan came, like cutting back to them watching at 3 a.m. or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the UFC loves that kind of stuff too.
He's got that going, sure. You
Yeah.
could definitely segue right to videos like that. Georgia's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
But going back to what your point is, when it comes to pay-per-views inside of America, probably the Cheeto Vera fight is bigger. And Sean O'Malley is also the type of guy you want to win. He's the breadwinner.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
I think that the Merab fight is probably a more favorable matchup for O'Malley than Cheeto. I think so.
Interesting.
I think it's a nightmare match.
Even though
if he can stop a takedown, or he can continue to get to his feet and keep Merab off of him. That's what I'm saying. Like if he can do that, if he can't,
so I don't
he's
think
totally
he can.
fine.
I don't think he can. Like I don't think he's Peter Yan where he could he's strong enough to get back up to his feet. I feel like
probably
he's too gangly
probably not. But if he could,
weak.
I think that Cheeto is.
That's fighting words. Yeah.
I think Cheeto's more
I
dangerous.
think Sugar's way stronger than you.
Yeah, way strong.
No,
Not even
I don't know
close.
about
Don't put
that.
that out there.
When you guys do a bench press competition, you might be right there with him.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think
What
so?
do you think he walks around at?
14
What?
14
165,
pounds.
14 pounds.
I walk
he's
around
probably
at
165.
when I'm not cutting weight, I'm like 159.
When you're not cutting weight, do you cut
He
weight
might
off
be
too?
like 5 pounds.
he does before every pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's probably
I cut weight to
165, I would
watch,
guess.
just out of respect.
Out of respect for the fighters.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
We need more journalists.
You don't
like
think you don't think Cheeto's a more dangerous fight? Definitely his finishing ability, for sure.
Cheeto's gonna stay on the feet with him though,
But
right?
look, Cheeto. Who did you
Are we
fight?
forgetting that Cheeto already beat him? Am I the only one?
He
Who
did, I
Cheeto
was there
just
for
fight?
it.
Who did Cheeto just lose to?
Well, he beat Pedro Munoz.
Yeah, I beat Munoz.
He lost to
Sanhagen.
Sanhagen.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sanhagen.
50-45.
Sanhagen
It's very
wrestled a
comparable.
lot.
Sanhagen is very comparable to. Wait, he beat Sanhagen?
No,
No, Sanhagen beat him.
destroyed
He kinda
him.
got-
And he used a
got
lot of
destroyed
wrestling.
by
Used a lot of wrestling to beat him
And
as
Corey
well.
Sandhagen beats them all.
Yeah.
But Sean
My
O'Malley
opinion.
and Sanhagen are very similar in my eyes. Tall, great footwork, great at pot shots. They can come up with the flying knees. They come out with like the the darting left and right hands. I think that, and they're both kind of like long and probably weaker in the grappling aspects.
Sandhagen?
Sanhagen,
He's a fantastic
Aljo. Aljo kind of.
Yeah, Aljo jumped his.
He gives up his back,
He jumped his back like
It
once.
was a quick one.
but
Yeah, it was
Sanhagen
quick.
has given up his back a lot in a bunch of fights. He's got a little bit of a problem with that.
A little bit.
I think he's a great grappler. He showed that. In his
Yeah.
last fight, he showed that he could grapple.
Yeah, he out-grappled Rob Font with one arm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm a Sanhagen fan. I think he's
That
great.
sounds like
Doesn't sound like it.
Sounds like it.
But
Can we clip that part?
Yeah, 100%, 100%, yeah.
Sanhagen,
Because they do that shit to me all the time.
No,
Right?
don't cut
We need to-
that.
we need to
No, we'll
start
make sure
cutting.
we fuck you guys on the
Sanhagen
clips.
O'Malley.
We're gonna cut out when he says
Listen,
I'm
Sanhagen and O'Malley are probably the most alike on the feet than any other fighter in the bantamweight division.
Yeah, probably. I mean, in the division,
Cheeto
they're
Vera
probably
couldn't get
close.
to him. Cheeto Vera couldn't get to Sanhagen, and I think he's a little slower on the feet.
Sandhagen
And
shot a lot, though.
O'Malley's got speed, and he's got great footwork. So I don't think. Listen,
I think we're expecting that we're going to convince Chris that Merab shouldn't have
We're
got
not
a title
gonna
fight. I don't
convince
think
him.
we're going to do
yeah,
that.
I agree. You guys suck at.
What do you think went wrong for Aljo?
What's that?
What do you think went wrong for Aljo?
Man, it's the fight game.
Yeah.
The first round he won according to the judges' scorecards. Second round, I think he got tired of just playing it safe, and he went in.
And then just got caught.
And O'Malley did a great job of capitalizing on that mistake.
Mhm.
And that's the game.
I think he got impatient.
Yeah, he got a little
bit. I think
impatient.
he rushed it a little bit, which is
You got-
unfortunate because
it was in Boston. You got the whole damn arena shouting, for O'Malley, even though Aljo's right from New York, and there was not any love for him. So I think he just wanted to shut people up a little bit too.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I think that got into his head. And it's the fight game, and O'Malley did a great job. I mean, you can't take anything away from
I'd like to see that one again, though.
Oh
him.
yeah.
Me too.
I would like to see that one.
I mean, it is
Just 'cause
crazy. Also,
'cause
like
I don't
if
know
you
what would
look
happen.
in the history of the sport, you have 3 title defenses, the most in the history of the bantamweight division. You lose a fight, you probably get a rematch.
Mhm.
It's not happening with Aljo. Why do you think that is? Anybody?
Just
Dana?
I mean, I got a pretty good idea, but I don't want to shit on Aljo.
Aljo also said he wanted to go up to 145 after this fight, right? And
Well, he
went
was
back
looking
on
for, just because
Yeah.
the bigger and better fights, the Volkanovski fight at that point sounded
course,
fun,
yeah.
eventually, but now you lose. Everything changes.
yeah,
He's a big 35-pounder for sure.
Do you think Dana's penalizing them because Merab, they didn't want to fight? They made it very clear.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I think that pissed off them. so bad.
Well,
Which I don't get. I don't know why it pissed them off that big. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
Their teammates. I mean, you got to respect the loyalty.
Mhm.
I mean, this isn't like we're, throwing darts.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fight game. It's rough. And I can see it from both sides, but you got two guys who have been training together for years and years and years, and you expect them to fight each other. I don't think it's something you expect.
Because I was going to say with Merab, I think that's what's been holding him back more than the fight style. Because obviously with Aljo is different because he was the one holding the belt as the guy with the clear number one spot, especially after he beat Jan the way he did.
Right.
Clear number one contender, like no one even really close at that time. And then you're saying no to title shots. I think Dana just despised that.
He hates people turning down opportunities.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I guess if Merab if they give him the title shot, he beats O'Malley. Now Merab's the champion. You can take Aljo out of the picture because he's never fighting for the belt against Merab. So it takes another contender out of the way. And I don't know, do they not see Merab as a pay-per-view draw?
I don't know. I think it just creates problems when you start having to negotiate around relationships. It's a tough game to be friends in. But I also get it from Aljo and Merab's point of view. 100%. Like sometimes teammates have to fight, and you end up in these super gyms where guys that know each other, guys that train together, have to end up fighting. But that situation's different.
We
Like
have a small gym.
Like if Chris and I had to fight, it doesn't matter if he wins or I win or how it goes. After that fight, no matter what, that relationship is never the same.
Yeah.
Because essentially you take something from it. Like if Chris beats me, he's taking something from me. He's taking an opportunity from me. He's taking half of my money. He's like literally taking food away from the family.
Yeah.
So even if you can talk it out, you can be the best of friends and tell each other like after this, everything's going to be the same. It'll never be the same.
Yeah. I mean, if you kick Pavlovich out of your locker room, it's imagine like kick me in the head.
Right.
It's going to get even more.
Yeah.
weird.
It's always going to be weird.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to do it in the PFL this year, like the two, like the
How that
fighter.
worked out.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Like they
kicked them
didn't
both
want
out,
to fight
basically.
each other.
Wait,
Yeah.
who's it? Who's
So two fighters were fighting each other. Forget their names.
The one it's Schultz, Nathan Schultz, and Roush Manfio.
Yeah.
The one guy was literally his son's godfather.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they basically had for a fight that was to go to the playoff for $1 million. They basically had a glorified sparring match, and they basically just kicked them both out.
and did they find out like the money was on one guy? Like,
Well, it wasn't even. They just
didn't wanna
basically
fight each other.
They must have made. They clearly made an agreement before. We're not going to hurt each other.
Yeah.
They went out there kind of
So
very
they had like a training session.
It was
basically.
really
and then
weird.
the Schultz was a better wrestler, and he kind of just held him. That didn't throw any punches, and then
The PFO was so mad about it.
they
They
basically
cut them both.
cut them both.
that's the fight that like all the friends make a lot of money on because they're like, all right, listen, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
One of you guys need to win, and then we'll divvy up the money.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever do that, but like that's probably one of those fights you got.
They cut that part out.
Cut that.
Cut that part out.
Probably one of those.
He'll never do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming in. We'll show you around the office. And
Yeah, we can do this shot real quick though.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's do
We don't have anything to do shots out of.
Oh,
though.
we'll just straight from the source.
Yeah,
Let's go. This one's okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
take it.
yeah.
Hope it's not
Absolutely.
real. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're cutting that one out.
Cut that part out too.
Oh my God.
That's Strong Island right
You guys
there.
are censoring me, bro.
No, not at
New
Barstool.
York City.
I hope that's not the only one you have. And that's like the
No.
only sponsor bottle.
No, this is
We
it's a
know we got-
sponsor. Come on, they're
I'm just
sending
proud
us
of
money.
Anthony that he focused enough on this podcast and not just stare at that the whole time.
I pulled it together there.
he pulled it together. I felt like he was
it was-
shaking a little bit at first, but
There we go.
little cap.
There we go. Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm such a fan of Chris. Well, you go first.
really? Yeah, man. I'm the older guy.
It's an age thing. An age thing.
That's pretty good.
Pretty smooth. Good way to start the day. Do you guys have media after this?
Mhm.
You can show drunk to media
No,
after
I
this?
don't think I have any. I'm just. What am I gonna do? I got a lot of.
Oh
Options.
wow. That's really
Dinner. We got a lot of time till dinner.
I was gonna go get my.
I gotta record my podcast with Bisbing at Meta Studios. But it's just
I have so
Bisbing, it
much-
doesn't
Yeah,
matter. This is really good though. If you
Glad
guys
to
could send me a bottle of this, I'd
100%.
appreciate
Monaco.
Get
Shout out
on it.
Monaco.
that. I
Yeah.
would love that. That's good. I'd like that.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. That was awesome. Appreciate it.